Hi guys, and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today we have a little bit of a crazy project on this channel. Today here we have a scarf made for the TV show Wednesday Addams. It's meant for Enid SInclair. It has a few different tones of pink. I did this in double crochet stitches. And you can kind of see there's different types of wool in here. There's the double crochets. And it's not really the right type of hook for all of these different types of wools. So that's why it has like this an interesting look here, kind of like a messy look. And I did these little things on here, and the whole thing has its own charm for sure. I think it turned out super cute. And how exactly I did this, I will show you now. What kind of wool I used, obviously I'll show you too. And this whole thing is a loop scarf. So you can maybe put it 2 times or 3 times around your neck. And that's kind of how you see it in the TV show as well, kind of like a hood over the head. And it just looks super cute. And yeah, have fun. So here you can see we're going to be using 3 different types of wool. Here, this one is called Merino Mix Big by my Oma. I'm going to use the same hook here for all of them. It's a size 8 crocheting hook. And some of these yarns will actually take a double thread, and some of them we're going to do a regular one. I'll show you that in a minute. This first wool here is like a dark pink, maybe magenta colored. Is called Merino Mix Big by my Oma. It's 70% merino wool, 30% polyacrylic, and it's meant for size 6 to size 7 crocheting hooks. I have a size 8 crocheting hook here, and the color number is 3374. It's this like dark red pink color. So this is the next wool. It's from Grindle. It's called Baby Wool. It's the color number 7, as you can see here. And it's meant for 3.5 to 4.5 crocheting hooks, and I will take this double. And here this one is from Woolly Hugs. It's called Sheep Merino Extra Fine, 50 grams, 110 meters long. And yes, so this one, let me turn this around. The number of the color is 37, and it's meant for size 5.5 to 6.5 crocheting hooks. And I think I will take this wool and as double thread as well. And yeah, with this one I will actually start. So as I said earlier, it's a really nice mix of these different pink tones. It's really pretty, like Enid SInclair in the show. And the idea is, yeah, to mix the materials, mix the colors, and have a really cute, mix. So this wool I kind of forgot. This is 70% polyacrylic and 30% polyamide. And so I'm gonna start here with this ball of yarn that I'm gonna take as a double thread. And so we start here with some chain stitches. Okay, so I'm actually not going to count the chain stitches here. I'm going to go for about 120 centimeters of length. So there's no need to count the stitches. We're just going to measure it later. We're going to do this as a loop scarf, so we just really care about how long this is going to be. So I'm going to continue these chain stitches here until I'm at about 120 centimeters. Okay, so I'm back now, and here you can see that these chain stitches turned out pretty long. So I just measured it a little bit here, and as you can see, we end up here. Oh wow, it's actually pretty long. And we end up with about 124-ish centimeters. And so perfect. We can put away the measuring tape again. And so what I'm gonna do is make this be a circle. So it's important that there aren't any twists in this chain. So I'm gonna take this here and pull it out a little bit. So I'm gonna just stretch it out on the table here so we can see really well what's happening. So that there's no twists, no turns in these chain stitches. It's all nice and flat. And then here into the very last stitch, slash the very first stitch, we're gonna go through and we just tie this up with a little sling stitch. And so this now is a circle already, and we will do 1, 2, 3 chain stitches for height, and we will do double crochets here the whole way around. It's a very simple pattern, it's a very simple stitch, and we'll just do this here the whole round until we're back at the end. And so here we're back, and I'm done with the first row here with the double crochets. So I'm gonna switch the thread to the like darker magenta pink. And what I'm gonna do here is that I will finish up this round with that thread. So I'm gonna pull it through and pull it through these stitches here. I just pulled it through, very simple. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut the first wool. I'll leave a little bit, a few centimeters here to like later put it away. I'm gonna put this aside for now. We'll use it again later. And then we're just gonna continue with the magenta thread for now. So we're gonna put the thread into the hand and we do 3 chain stitches. And then we do, with this magenta thread, we will continue the crocheting. So we'll do more double crochets here. And we go into these, like basically these big holes in between the 2 double crochets of the row before, and we do another double crochet. For the double thread of the row before, of the thread before, it was kind of tight because the needle was a little small for 2 of the threads. And so because here the thread is a lot thinner and we're just taking it once, we're just taking 1 thread. The needle is a little big, so this is a lot looser. This is a lot looser, and so you can see the big difference kind of between, you can see the difference between the 2 rows here, how they look really different. And that's kind of the idea here. So that's what we're going for. And you can see it's super quick. It's very simple because it's all the same stitches. And yeah, I'm gonna do this a little more. And we're just gonna keep doing the same stitch here all the way around. And I'm gonna do 2 rows of this. Okay, so my first row is done, and you can see that I'm at the end. You can see here the big contrast between row number 1 and row number 2. And you can see like this light pink is gonna, we're gonna add that too. So we're gonna put a sling stitch here, and then we do 3 chain stitches. And we do the second row now. So for that, we're gonna do the same thing we did before. Basically, we go into the kind of the hole of the row before. That's kind of what's between the 2 double crochets from the row before. And we do double crochets again for this row. And you can see, yeah, this part of the scarf is a lot looser. Yeah. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna finish up this row, and then we're gonna switch to this light pink wool. So my row here is done now, and so I'm going to do a sling stitch here, and at the same time I'm going to use the new wool and pull it through. So this is kind of the light pink pastel tone, and that's really cute, and we're going to do a double thread here as well. So we pull it through and kind of pull it tight, and we do 3 chain stitches here. And then we do the same thing we did before. We go in between 2 double crochets of the row before, and then do double crochets again for this row. Okay, we're gonna pull this tight here so it doesn't come loose. And yeah, so I'm gonna continue with this now. And double crochet. I'm gonna do, the rest of this row now very soon. You can see here the wool really fits well as a double thread. And yeah, you can see like the difference again with the colors, and it's so pretty. And then I'm gonna continue switching up the colors until I have like the width that I want and the nice changing colors that I want. Okay guys, so this is what happened in the meantime since the last update. So you can see that I made some more rows here. I kind of switched up the colors a little bit. So I did 1 row, then 2 rows here. Then here we have 2 rows here again, 1 row of the pink, and then actually the yarn was done. So I went back to do 2 rows of the light pink and then 1 more row of the darker magenta. Okay. I used 1 yarn of the pink, of the magenta pink, and 1 ball of the regular pink, and then I'm using like 1.5 basically of this other one. Yeah, so I did the last row here in the darker magenta color, and that's almost actually done now. It's almost over, and we're basically done. I mean, you can see it has a nice width here. You can kind of scrunch it a little bit. You can kind of wear it over the head if you want to, like they do in the show. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the yarn right here with my scissor. So I cut it here. I'm going to pull it out up top here. And what I'm going to do is I have a lot of loose threads here on the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it pretty simply. Actually, I'm going to do it in the easy way. And so what you kind of want here is that the scarf, well, looks, you know, messy, more individual, a little more specific, particular, the DIY flair basically. So what I want is I'm gonna put a knot here into all of the leftover threads. Normally I would make this, you know, a lot more neatly, a lot more nicely. But because this scarf is different, it's supposed to look a little messy, so we're just gonna tie this up for now. We're gonna call it a rustic finish, let's say. And so just here everywhere where we have the 2 different types of yarn, we're just gonna put a knot on it. And yeah, like I just said, I would usually do this differently to have it look a little, more orderly, a little nicer, a little tidier. So we just want to have this looking like, a little more messy, a little more beginner style. And so that's what we're gonna do. The idea kind of is that we have different types of wool here, we have different colors, and the whole thing, it's supposed to just look very mixed. It's supposed to look cute and So this is I think it's the last one of this. Oh no, there's one more, I think. Let's see. One more knot here. And this is the last one. That's the beginning. Okay, so you can see the inside. This is the outside here. You can see how it looks from the outside. You can kind of see what it looks like from the outside, what it looks like with the color changes and the wool changes. It's really cute. So this area here, we just did all the knots, and we kind of shortened the threads here, and so they're all kind of the same length. They're all kind of hanging out a little bit. We'll see later what I'm going to do about these exactly, if I, tuck them away a little bit, or if I just let them loose as little threads, little bangles. So what I'm going to do now is put this aside for a second, and we're going to see what we're going to add here on the side now. And so we have these wool rests here. We have a little bit of the pink, actually. That's what we just cut off of the threads. We have a little bit left, but I'm sure we can use this as well. So how do you make these things? And so we have this little piece of cardboard here, and we're going to take the thread and we're just going to loop it around. Make sure you leave your finger on it so it doesn't come apart. And okay, we're going to use another type of thread now, another color. Okay, that was really a short little piece. And we're going to put another one just to add a little more of this color. And we're just going to lay it on there and wrap it around until, there's nothing left basically, because these are all really short. This one is too short, but we can use it later to tie it all up. And this yarn here, we had it in doubles, and I had rewound it up in doubles. So this is easier because, it's just less work to now wrap it around because it's already in double. And okay, I think this looks pretty good. I'm gonna use this little piece of thread here that we just put aside because it was too short to put around this. And this is a great way to use these later. So if you have any leftover of a color that you like, just keep them. And then, yeah, you can use them for projects like this. I'm gonna do 2 knots here. And what we're gonna do then is I'm gonna take my scissor and I'm gonna cut it off at the bottom. This one too. And then we can take it off and we're gonna pull it tight here, make sure the knot is nice and tight. And then we're gonna put it here together, kind of. This one is actually still long. We haven't cut this one yet, so we can use that. I just have like a bunch of threads here, a bunch of yarn, and I'm gonna take this thread that's still connected, I'm gonna wrap it around here, maybe 2 centimeters from the top. And yeah, to have it nice and stable, nice and firm. And then we're gonna take the scissor and cut the thread. I'm gonna cut the thread. And then I'm gonna take one, wrap it around, and we just tie a good firm knot here. And again, double knot. You can obviously make this all a little tidier, a little nicer, a little cleaner, but it's meant, like with this whole scarf is kind of meant to look a little messy. So this is not as orderly as some of the other ones that I've made. So some of these are a little longer. I would usually definitely cut them all to be the same length, but we're not going to do that here today. I think it actually looks really cute. So what I just did here was pull out 2 of the threads, and I'm going to use them to tie them to the scarf. What I'm going to do here is basically just tie it to the scarf. So we're going to wrap it around one of these double crochets that we did earlier. And we're just going to tie 2 knots that are nice and firm. So then here we have this nice little bangle. And I'm going to maybe make 2 more, and I'll tie them to the scarf as well. So here we are with the 2 other bangles, and I'm going to tie them to the scarf as well. At a nice distance, maybe. We're going to put one here. Okay. 2 knots, nice and firm. What's nice is it's so easy. You just tie them to the scarf. There's nothing crazy you need to do. And here we will do one maybe like into the middle. Okay. So, and then the scarf is done. And you can see this is all a little more like a crazy scarf, a little messier scarf. And not a perfectionist scarf, So it's meant to look like a DIY. It's Enid inspired. So this is what we did. The whole thing is supposed to look crazy. It's supposed to look funny, and with the different wools and everything. Thanks for watching DIY Ideas. I hope you liked this video. If you would like to watch more, please visit my channel and subscribe for free. You'll always be the first one to be informed about new videos. Please share this video with your friends, and see you next time.